have to trap them in the canyon.
The Dimetrodons are harmless. Leave them be.
The clever Dino Riders seal off the escape route. It's up to you, Commandos. Now! Leaping into the path of the thundering giants, the Commandos close off the front of the pass.
Blast them to bits, Ant-Men.
Put this in your Easter basket, Krulos.
Don't forget to ride home, Rulons.
The Dino Riders put on the finishing touches. But Krulos escapes on Tyrannosaurus Rex. Look out! Sky!
The Stegosaurus.
Take this, lizard lips.
I'll be back, Questar.
The battle is over, but the action's just beginning with the complete Dino Riders collection.
Dino Riders, harness power, Dino Riders.
The Dino Riders are ambushed.
We've got you outnumbered, Gunner.
Gotcha trapped, Hammerhead. The evil Rulons on Triceratops close in on the Dino Riders.
I've waited a long time for this, Gunner.
Laser cannon fire distracts the Rulon beast.
Sure hope you can swim, fishbait.
Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops with motorized walking action, and Deinonychus, each with figures and battle gear.
Dino Riders, harness power, Dino Riders.
Tri-cannons,
Forward laser, mandibles.
Omni-lasers,
Proton cannons, buzzsaw, omni-laser.
broadside rockets,
Tri-laser.
Questar.
Krulos, Vitor, Mako.
The evil Rulons are tired of playing games.
You are finished, Questar!
They want the Dino Riders' time key.
Your brother eats flies, Krulos!
The greatest battle in the history of the universe is about to begin. Tyrannosaurus Rex and Diplodocus with motorized walking action, and Monoclonius, each with figures and battle gear.
Hello. Good afternoon, or good evening, as we might say. Got a lot, maybe not a lot going on right now. I'm actually kind of in between projects, so I've started kind of a new one, even though I haven't finished some of the old ones. This happens to me every once in a while. This is my Keyword School homework, and that's page 1. And there's page 2 completed. Page 3, whoops. Where's page 3? Maybe it's all the way back here. Page 3 and page 4 I haven't really touched yet. But should be good, right? What I thought I would be doing today, though, I finished a page of Rabbit Fighter. I should probably go through and sketch out page 9. And I haven't done that yet. But I also have been doing that void circuit thing. And I actually colored page 1. So there's page 1 in color. Can you tell it's in color? I guess because it's so bright right now, it kind of washes it out. But I did it with, this is on sort of a vintage paper. And then I started inking this morning. And got about this far. The only thing I don't like about this so far, let me get back to and take my pencils out to show you where I really am. I don't have any high contrast areas. I need some dark black areas. I think we could, this is like a back hallway back here. I think we could kind of shade this out. And then same here. Maybe the area behind, we shade that out. Or the roof, the ceiling part. I actually had a notion. So she goes out on this like walkway, and then you can see it's suspended high above. I was thinking of doing this with an all black background where we see the progenitor. Another idea I had, and I think we're going to tackle it today, is I have this Micronauts Annual number 1. I think I might have another Micronauts, maybe even an annual. I don't know. Is this an annual? Yeah, this is Annual number 2. Both of these are by Ditko, I think. And what I'd like to draw is this character here, which is a Croyer, or Prince of Croyer, in the comic. But if you just had the Micronauts action figures, that was just a Croyer. They were like originally the bad guys of the Micronauts line. least the US version. I think we could call this area, let's take the pencil out one more time. I think line work wise, it's probably ready to just leave it alone. The Tothian principles of simplify, 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 I think it's probably good. This, on the other hand, we probably need to do something about. So let us get stuck in here. Oh, and I could definitely I kind of envision this area below originally being black, but I see it as a walkway, so maybe the area behind her is black. But I've got to get her her eyes. I want to make sure I get her eyes right. I was looking at those Mel Burnkrant studies for when they re-released The Outer Spaceman. And one of the things that comes out in the interview is that, and it's rather rude actually, he didn't like how the Four Horsemen were resculpting his pieces. And he was a bit rude about it, but actually I completely see what he was saying, because Four Horsemen are kind of known for doing those reimagined pieces, and the entire charm of the Outer Spacemen is their original vintage look, which you would not want to mess with in any way. And he's correct. So this is at Aridin. And she has this kind of wild, flowing, wispy hair. And then her outfit is kind of like a space outfit, like a spacesuit. In fact, let's get a reference image up real quick. If I have one, I do have one. There it is. Oh, she's gorgeous. Okay, let's see. What I'm really looking at is these texture lines. And then this is her helmet that she's carrying the whole time. Oops. With a little bit heavier line weight there. My next problem is getting her belt. There it is right there. I really like Aridin here. I don't know if you can see what's going on. All right, let's do the portal. She's climbed up. She's stepping through the door. I've been getting really obsessed with action figures lately. My problem is I have too much stuff and not enough room. And whatever I get, I'm going to have to figure out a place to store it. You know, maybe I need another cabinet. My collection, I'm so proud of it. It's so great. Makes me happy just looking at it. And there's Glimmer. Okay. Dino Riders. I actually do have some Dino Riders. I have some of the small size enemies. The ant guy and a shark guy. I think it's a shark guy. So they had this sort of 3-inch scale. It's like a half size. It's like the Jawa size Star Wars figure in scale. It's a very unusual scale. But they actually had, it really was Jawa size because they had regular sized figures. The human sized figures were the regular Star Wars size. Take those pencils away. She's looking good. She's looking good. This is going to be an ash can, very similar to the other ones that I did, and I'm really looking forward to printing her alongside some of my other stories and prints out as another zine that's just going to be science fiction stuff. I'm thinking of calling it Action Figure Spectacular, just because these are going to be all the characters that were, hey, it's Din 2. All the characters I made that were sort of like inspired by action figures. Let's see. Oops. So, going about. I did spend a little bit too much at eBay this week, though. Gonna have to watch myself. I also got a birthday present for my sister. How's it going? Din 2. Line weight is bad here. All right, here we go. So you should make your line weights heavier as they come closer and closer. So you see how it started out further away, and then this one's about slightly larger. I think this line is probably too close, but you can see I did it with a heavier weight each time. What's this story about? I can walk you through the whole thing. Unlike most of my stories, sometimes I'm just like, if I'm between stories, I just come up with something sometimes. I did a live stream where I did some world building, And I can kind of walk you through it. So it starts out. There's Eridan's ship. She's approaching this thing. It's a star tomb, and she's part of this group called the Astral Cosmonauts, or the Cosmonaut Legion. And she investigates the tomb, and she's trying to find information about this group called the Ecliptar Progenitors, and she actually finds one that's like a ghost one. Hey, how's it going, Swap Neil? Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So she finds one of the progenitors, and then basically the rest of the comic, and I've got just a couple more pages. She's a researcher, and he tells her how their society collapsed. And so I'm drawing a comic about like a science fiction story, where this alien researcher finds this other alien. I don't know if you can see him over here. It hasn't been drawn yet. The big reveal panel right here. But basically, they became decadent, right? These aliens, and they created a servant race that were like robots, and they made them do all their stuff, their work for them, and then there's Sideburns is on. Hang on, I'm going to add him in here. I have to find something first. One sec.
What is this?
There we go. You got the real applause for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on for a second.
Hello, Swap Neil. And hello, Din2.
Din2 is here.
How do you do?
So I'm explaining the comic, and then anyways, so she finds this alien guy. He explains what happened to their species, and they died out. Because they came to rely on these servants, and then they started using them as gladiators, and then some of them mutated and developed their own consciousness. They became like AI, and they got their own consciousness, and they rebelled. And then her last part of the comic is she goes, well, what happened to them? And he looks up and he goes, they're here, and then they're going to come crawling out of the sewer ducts and stuff to attack. So that's the whole comic. It's only an 8-page, I hope, comic. Maybe a little bit. It might be a little bit, end up being a little bit longer. That's how I planned it, though.
Asterix?
No, it's her name is Adrian, and then the comic is called Void Circuit.
I was like talking to Din2. It's like, what? Asterix?
Oh, he just left an asterisk over there.
Hello, Sod.
Maybe it was
Sod. Oh, Sideburns, yes. Or Sideburns. Yes. Is this you doing this for publication or just?
I'm going to. So here's my idea that I had. I created 2 pretty good, I think. Now that I have my own printing stuff set up, I created 2 pretty good ashcan size comics.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
I thought they looked pretty good. Yeah. Then I thought, okay. Hang on.
It
was ice. I thought they look okay. I should do some new stuff. I mean, I've got a huge backlog of old stuff that has never been published that I could publish, but is the problem is you get better and better as time goes on, and you start looking back at your old stuff and going, I don't know if I want to publish this. I'm better than this. When I did this, I'm better than I was. So, what's the size? So it's what we call an ash can, which is if you take a regular size piece of paper. Let's see if I can find one. A regular size piece of paper, and you fold it in half. Let me see if I can move my camera up. and that becomes an ashcan. And so this would be page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, or in this case it says 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you have to arrange the pages. Let me show you how you do it. This is not a good example just yet. Let me find the other stack. Ah, here we go. Monster Chrome, or Book of Ruin is even better because it's just a comic. So you have to arrange the pages so it's 2 pages on each side, and then it's double-sided. So 1 page printed front and back will be 4 pages, and then you fold it, and then you kind of nest however many pages. And I'll show you what they look like.
I wish I could have it closer.
So this one is Book of Ruin, and this one I've had for a long time. This is it's like a comic. You staple the inside, like it's got staples, and that's the back cover. But this one in green ink. This is 14 or 16 pages, right? So, but you got to remember each page is really 4 pages. So it's really just, if we were to unfold the whole thing and look at it, it's just 1, 2. Could it be 3 pages? It's more than that. No, it's 4 pages. 4 pages total, front and back. But you fold it real nice, and you staple it, and you get a 16-page book. So that's the idea. Oh, thank you very much. Swapnil, if you're an artist, I think I visited your channel. I think I followed you. You could totally do something like that too. I want everybody to make comics. Let's see. And then like 1 page is the cover. I was thinking of maybe doing my covers on slicker paper. I just printed it right on the newsprint with everything else just for the fun of it. And I even gave it this do you see how it looks like it's aged? It looks like, you see the white, it looks like animation. That's what you do. Yeah. So
shell shade?
This distressed look here, and if I take it off, you can see it doesn't really look like that.
Oh, wow.
That's just me messing with it. But I like that it prints out like this. Swapnia says, I love 2D as well. Awesome. Awesome. So where was I? Anyways. So I had this idea. I'm really inspired by action figures lately, and I thought I would do a comic inspired by action figures. So they're not really action figures that exist. There's no action figure of
Book of Ruin?
her name's Adrian, of the Void Circuit characters. She's just a character that was kind of inspired by Glyos figures.
Hmm.
So Deviant Art 3D Animator 12. Shout out to Swapnil Bambora for on his Deviant Art name 3D Animator 12. Awesome.
Are you from India, Swapnil?
Yeah, where are you from?
I think I knew a person sound like that. I work with a lot of most Indonesian or Nepalese people in my workplace. So, coincidence. Okay.
Very cool. I want to visit. I would like to visit India someday. I think of all the countries. Well, I want to also visit South America. I think South America might be fun too, and it's closer, so maybe not as expensive. But I would visit India.
Mm-hmm.
I've always kind of thought about it. Let's see. So anyways, this comic, and then there's another one I have inspired by the Battle Beasts called the Beast Rangers. Where is it? And I think I did publish the Bee Strangers, but I can't. It's like at this point I can't remember if I did or I didn't because there's the Bee Strangers. Because we're so far behind. We're so very far behind. I actually have a cover now that was, but I've got to do the inking on it, and we're gonna get color. Which I could whip it out. I'm sure I could whip it through that cover as far as inking pretty quickly. But I'm like my mind's not in it right now, so that's fine. It's fine. So these guys are kind of inspired by the. How old is the big alien? He's gonna be like millennia old, I think.
Who are you talking
Alien Dintu2 asks.
What does he mean by that?
So there's this big alien she encounters.
Oh.
He's called the Ecliptar progenitor. And you can see she goes, an Ecliptar progenitor, who disturbs the sleep of ages. He's really like a ghost. So he's not really. So you're going to see he's got this kind of wispy body that he's more like a ghost hologram kind of thing. And then when we see the I forgot what they're called. The servitors, the mutants. They're that will be a whole different. I haven't actually really. I've kind of designed them, but I haven't really. Like I know what their heads are going to look like, kind of. But I want to give them like these long arms. And they're going to be like scrambling down this passage towards her, and she's getting surrounded. And she has to escape back to her ship. And then I had another idea for a story, and it's a character called Celebrenial, I think. And I don't know if I've got the character drawn. I might have drawn this character on another. There's another spaceship. It might be on my other iPad. So the other one. Let me get back to here. Yeah, I did draw him. Well, I say I drew him. It's really rough. So Cenebriel, that's what the name is. So I have a whole story with him too. He's a an adventurer, and he's got a sword. It's a star sickle, and he's got to find a new homeland for the species that he's from, and there's going to be like these beetle alien guys attacking, and so it's more like a chase that goes on, and he just sort of describes his odyssey, I guess. I don't know. All right, I'm looking at this. Let's take a look. I'm actually pretty close. I'm going to have to tone the back of it. Like this area that she's coming through. But before I do that, let's do the speech bubbles. How have you been, Sideburns? How's it going?
Yeah, I've been all good. I did some things recently. I was in sculpting. You probably know. I know, but
yep.
I did something this morning. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. I'll take you out for a second just to mute you. I'll bring him back on as soon as he comes back on. While Sideburns is away, I will explain.
All right.
He is back. Okay, hang on.
Yeah. So
There you
I
are.
made some my own sculpting tools recently.
You made the tool?
Yeah, I made this one last night. I don't know if you could see it.
Oh yeah.
So let's see if I can focus on it. This is like a tool I'm probably going to modify later on today. I used an old pen, like a very I don't know if it's like clear plastic kind of pen, but a little. It's like from Attack. This little
So
end.
you've got a pointy, like a spike kind of thing on it?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I wasn't aiming that. Right. Okay. So and then I attached it with some green stuff. Then I made this morning. It's interesting. It's like a rake tool.
Yeah, you can kind of cut away pieces with it.
No, a normal one could do that, but this one has like a guitar string added on.
Oh, pretty cool.
And it has kind of ridges. Sorry, I don't know where the camera is. All right. So it has kind of ridges on the end of it. Not good. And it was kind of hard at first.
Might be interesting.
It's kind of good for blending stuff, blending the clay when you're like kneading it, I guess. But it's kind of hard to get into the pen. God, I don't know where this is. All right. Yeah, I didn't know how to get it into the pen at first because I got a slightly bigger one and then I was successful. It's kind of like a 3 inches or 5 inches long, the cable, and then I fed it through the top. Anyway, I should stop because it's kind of, yeah. That's the basic idea. That's the basic idea.
Pretty cool.
Have
you used it yet?
No, I have not. I tested it a bit and it works pretty good. Works as intended.
Pretty
but
cool.
I've got an ordinary rake tool like that as well. In a set of them.
So I would like to show you at some
point.
The Outer Spacemen. They I've been talking about them, but at some point we'll have to look at the we'll have to do like a reaction shot of the video because they show the epoxy masters of them, which were hand sculpted, and later on they were cast in rubber with a wire to make like a bendy toy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really interesting how they were put together.
Is it hot over there?
It is. It has been cold and rainy today, although I didn't really see any rain. It just kind of looks like it's about to rain all day long.
Just because you mentioned ice earlier.
Yes, it's been.
Yeah.
It's been super cold. I don't know why. I have to have ice anyways, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What was I going to do with this? Tones. That's right.
Master Sensei is not too big.
So right now you're working on what chapter of
chapter 4. Well, chapter 4? Yeah, it is chapter 4. It's a flashback, like kind of sequence. Most of the chapter is flashback, actually. I mentioned it.
Pretty cool, but that's useful for setting up. Well, setting up everything, really. All right, let's make sure I'm in the right one. I'm doing some tones.
What's your tone?
So let's see. Okay, that sort of seemed to work. Let me put my where is it? My little music track.
Fair enough.
There it is. All right.
Otherwise, happy moments.
Things have been going pretty well. It's been pretty good lately.
Good.
I feel like I get a lot of stuff done lately. All right.
Bloody camera. Yeah.
I've been having a lot of trouble with Filmora. At first, I was kind of blaming the camera, but I think it's really Filmora or my internet connection, one of the two. Because the teacher is, they're supposed to film the classes that I'm taking, but the teacher does not have the technical know-how to do it. But I always had my YouTube set up, or my like my YouTube's is because I film every day, so I always have Filmora, up on the other monitor, just ready to go, to film a video. So I offered to film the classes, and I have not had success. Out of 3 classes I've had, the first time I forgot to turn on the microphone for the screen capture, so I only got my mic. That was dumb. That was my fault. The second time and the third time, I both got corrupted videos, and I think it's because I lost internet at midway during the class. So it's like, well, all right. So I ran some utilities and was able to save some of it, but it's real stuttery now, so it doesn't sound good.
My mom is learning to use InDesign. She'd asked me before and about it, but I would just tell her just look it up on YouTube. There's plenty of tutorials.
Yeah.
That people ask. And, she publishes. She's publishing. Working on publishing these short stories about genealogy. She's kind of editing a book for a publication in a spare time, but she has some struggles with InDesign.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Which is fair enough. It's not you can't pick it up and learn Photoshop normally, but there's a little bit of it's a bit it's not as intuitive, but should be too hard.
Yeah, for InDesign especially. That's kind of like desktop publishing is what we used to call it, I suppose.
Desktop publishing.
I'm trying to think of what kind of texture. Am I on the right layer even? I'm not. Okay, let's just erase this then. Hang on. I have this big walkway that this character is supposed to come down, and maybe I could do some kind of... Well, let me get back on the right layer. Some kind of metallic... texture.
Up.
I could put a shadow in front of her. That might actually work. Let's do it with tones. I'll do it with the lighter tone. In fact, we could even really stretch it, like to where she's all the way down here. And we could even do.
I kind of for the previous page, I've kind of there's a bit of continuity error in that I didn't go with the go fully. Maybe? No, I didn't commit fully to the kick. But wait a second, which one is... What page is this? 13, 14... No. Or have I? Maybe not. Maybe I have, actually. Because I remember... Okay. Maybe there's still a chance, actually. I just worried there for a second.
It's looking really tight. I can, from what I'm looking at, I'm just looking over at your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's looking really polished.
Thank you.
You know, from what I can see, it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same. This is the problem I have. Is I go back and look at my old stuff that I didn't, that I never published, and I go, now I've got the printer and I can publish whatever I want. And then I go, but I'm better now. I don't want to publish that because I'm, it doesn't represent me as well. But your stuff is looking great, though. I don't know if this looks good.
I like the sound effects here. I had a little spackle to it.
Yep.
A little toothbrush spackle on the sound effects.
Looks good.
See how that goes.
Oh, crud. All right, here we go. All right. I wonder if I could just sort of shade this top area out. And then kind of gradient it a little bit so it's like really dark at the top.
Expect me to make a video soon. I'm planning on doing another one shortly.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Is it more of a sculpting video or more of a...
We'll have to find out.
I guess I'll have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Come Sculpt With Me video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was terrible. That was a scream, of course. They're always really bad. The lighting changes every few minutes.
You can't plan anything, it's just one of those things. But people understand that, I think, or like you're kind of getting something kind of raw.
I think issues with the camera for the most part. Why does it keep moving lightly like that? What the hell? Okay. All right. Stop it.
Oh, it is moving. I thought you were doing a slow pan.
That's not me. That's not me. It's life. It's real. All right. I think it looks okay. I think her legs should be raised.
It's alive.
Yeah. Not for long.
You've immobilized it. There we go.
I know, right? Didn't you? I think it was on. I think it was just adjusting. On a
Camera has a mind of its own.
It's like I know when the rubber has to come into a homeostasis, like it's kind of just recoiling the.
It's got a memory, like memory foam.
Kind of. I'm not a expert on equipment by any means, but yeah. Okay, that's looking alright. Close your eye just a little bit.
Gotta figure out what to do with her other foot here. This little podium thing is inspired by the Tim Mee Galaxy Laser Force.
Mm-hmm.
They have this one figure that is a female figure, and she's got this little podium with her that's on the action figure stand. I've never understood it, but I'm adding it to this thing.
Also, Debbie's a little fat.
Don't judge her.
Yeah. Just in the past,
when she was young, she was just a little chubby.
Yeah, weren't we all? You know?
Before she was like a hard security guard lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
A hardened law enforcement representative.
Is it lore or just company? I think security. Well, look, security guards aren't really law; they're more hired. They kind of contract.
Ah!
We do have a security company who works for Arcadium Company. There's some interesting folk. I think. Oh man, I had this one time that's really. It's one like encounter one. I was returning keys. No, I think I locked myself out of the mess once, and I went to get the key, and the guy there was kind of old, a bit grumpy. He was grumpy at me for some reason. I didn't know why, and he just like I was asking because I had my pass, like I had my pass with me, and he was just being all really. His attitude was really poor. I didn't like it. I didn't like his interaction because he thought I was someone else abusing like the system they set up, I guess. Which was very. Mm-hmm.
I've had that before too.
Which is none of my fault at all. It wasn't really like I had nothing to do with any of that. Does she look fat? So, yeah. What you were saying?
How many panels have you got on that page? It's 1, 2, 3.
One is like a breakout panel, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 in total.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Crap.
I'm going the opposite direction just because I'm planning on ashcan size publication, so I had to like really control the type size and the number of panels. It's like 3 panels, 4 panels. I felt like I'm going back in time, because that's how I used to do everything. Because I couldn't, I couldn't think past 3 panels. My early stuff.
Come up clearly. More clearly.
I moved it to 5 panels. I got to where I average 5 panels now. All right, so this is the progenitor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, how about that? I have the idea that they have these sort of like flame, whispery appendages coming out of their heads.
I think there's floorboards on this in this room, so it's really tough.
Oh, for the dojo, can you do a tatami or a rice mat kind of?
Rice mat? Not really. I don't know.
It might be too much texture for what you're doing.
I have a I'm looking on the continuity, chapter 2, I believe. Oh, I also got a new page out today, in case you guys want to read it.
I have not noticed it. I will definitely check it out. I'll put the link up. Hold on. I have this link. There it is. Duckling Star comic series.
You try posting in the chat. I think it'll. Yeah, I think people are more likely to click a link rather than if they see it. I don't know.
Probably. Can I it's hard to get it from there. I can edit it and then I can grab it. Okay, Control C. All right, hang on.
How do I put the shadows there?
There it is. This is now in the chat.
Cool.
All right. I'm looking at this and I'm not sure I like the mouth here. Maybe he doesn't look alien enough. That kind of works. A lot of times I don't have complete designs for my aliens. I just sort of start drawing and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it works. Great. Oh, dip. Now I'm looking for what are you working on? How old was that chat? 20 minutes ago, never mind. Alright.
How do you show it's a hologram spirity thing without color? So, 2 things. I am going to do color. So this one actually is going to have color. There's a couple of ways I could do it. One of the ways is I could take just this, what we call these are holding lines. And, maybe I put it on its own layer. And then I just kind of bake the opacity back out of it. So it looks like that. That's one way of doing it. There's a couple of other ways. I was thinking of just making it, where is it? You just do like a sort of glowing nimbus around it. That's an easy way to do it. Plus, there's going to be shadows and, there's all kinds of other dynamics going on in the panel. That might be a lot easier to handle. Oops. So this line, if you watch the David Finch videos, whoops, he talks about something called the line of beauty. The line of beauty is basically it's this line. It's a gentle curve, and sometimes with a curly Q at the end. But you have to make sure that the curve is balanced. Like I didn't quite balance this one right. To do, a girl's hair, you have to learn the line of beauty. Whoops, there it is right here. So I don't think I got it perfect here, but I got kind of the line of beauty going on here a little bit. All that said, I'm actually not the biggest David Finch fan in the world. I know he's a great artist. There's no doubt about that. He's like a great, fine artist. I don't think he's a good cartoonist, though. I think cartooning is a different discipline, and the more
I don't like how some, I don't know, like comic artists call pages like interiors. I'm like, what? And then there's a cover artist and there's interior.
Right.
Like what?
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Also, I agree. Well, like I posted recently in the Gilded, I was trying to explain why I felt like comics had really lost their way, and I was showing from two different comics that all the characters were doing these really stiff poses. The female characters were like doing this stiff pose, and it's the kind of pose you see on a cover. It looks like a yoga pose, kind of, with a character like, like they're it's totally posed. It looks completely unnatural, but it's the norm. It's like everything looks like this now. And in one of them, there's a couple of side characters standing around, like some bystanders. And those are kind of drawn normally. It's like, well, why don't you draw everybody looking normal and not do this silly yoga pose stuff? It just annoys me. But I am 100% with you. Yeah,
I'm looking back at chapter 2, and there's good like panels, like layouts where the panel will change, will contrast to the next and stuff like that, and it'll read really well. The art looks, to put it bluntly, really kind of crap, but like kind of messy, to put it another way. A little bit like it's clear, but it's kind of the pen lines. You can tell when like a pen line looks messy or not. And I'm trying really hard to like compensate in like black, like using black areas, and the tones are very not bad. They make use of textures really well. There's some interesting stuff with them. I like chapter 2. I like how chapter 2 went. I don't know how fast I did it. I think I was doing it bi-weekly like I normally do. But I think I got it done pretty quick, what I remember. I did like the whole process of traditionally it was all traditionally like pencil and ink, and then like then added the tones and all the effects around in Clip Studio. But yeah, I always try to strike a little balance at times when I work on them. When I work like in both. But yeah.
Absolutely. When did you start it? Do you remember what year?
When did I start? It was in March, I think, probably. I'm trying to look for the floorboards in that one flashback. Where was it? Where was it?
So it was the manga one, so it must have been 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, I did yeah, the prologue was actually my buffer, and well, actually, I think I did. Yeah, chapter 1 and the prologue were a buffer, and that allowed me to do chapter 2, which kind of makes sense when I say it like that. I like some of the angles; they look pretty neat. Just the pen, just the inking is a bit unrefined in places. No. Oh my god.
I never went back to my Mystery Squadron characters that I did for that one, but I'd like to.
Uh-huh.
They were inspired by Cyborg 09. The other day I was listening to
009.
Yeah, Ben Dunn.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Cyborg 009. And I'm like, that's great. He knows that one too.
I watched the cartoon of it. Like the
I didn't know there was a cartoon of it.
There is a well, it was like a recent-ish anime. There was another anime before that, but
yeah.
I remember liking it.
The I love the look. It's that 1960s look. It just I can't get enough of it. I love it.
Okay, so there's like floorboards in a circle. I like that when I read some like comics on Comic Fury, and there's one that's like called Slashed. I read he actually integrates his sound effects into the art very well. It flows. They work so they're almost very integral to the art, like in the panel.
Yeah, I've tried to do that just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Not on this comic, but let's see if I have it on the other. So in my current comic for class, a major part of it is the sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
Because the teacher just happened to mention, he's like, "Oh, I like when you use sound effects." I'm like, "All right, so we're gonna try and do some more sound effects." But there's one which is this charge thing right here, and then but on the last page, I decided.
Oh, can you show that again? I didn't see it.
Okay, hang on.
Sorry.
So
okay,
I put the charge kind of like right up in there, but I decided to make the sound effect the whole panel on the last panel of the comic.
Wow!
I don't know if you can see it.
I love it.
So gigantic, like this, because it's like as big as the panel almost. It's at least half the panel. Smack, and then all this would whirl.
Well placed, I think.
Yeah. So I'm consciously trying to get better at that stuff because I know that kind of works if you get it right.
Oh no.
I want to make this creature look more undead. When you say "oh no," what happened?
Oh, it was just loading a bit. It's no worries. Oh my god. But I wish.
I was worried for you for a second.
Don't worry.
All right, here we
cry for me.
All right.
Okay.
That does not look good.
Do you have normal time limit today?
Yeah, till 8, so we have an hour left.
Good. Alright. Stop.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can draw like a rib cage on this guy. I want him to make more ghostly.
Interrupt this broadcast. Technical difficulties advised. Anyway, I'm finished. I feel like I should make this bigger.
Oh no. There we go.
Should I go to these cubic classes? Like attend them?
Yeah.
I know the time zone for me isn't really ideal.
Well, Robin made it somehow. He went to a couple of them. I've been in with Robin. If you remember him.
Yeah, I remember him.
So they're 6 p.m. They're the exact same time as right now. So the exact same time as this is when they are, but on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Which would be Thursday for you.
Gosh, pray I'm not working that day. Maybe I can.
So, well, it's okay. Depending on what the class is, it might be a different day of the week. So there's inking.
Mhm.
Sequential art is really good. Shell's in the class with me this time, and she's getting a lot out of it. You might want to ask her if she thinks it's worth it.
Well, you asked her since it's worth it.
I will, but she knows what I think already because I do think it's worth it. Like I've learned a lot from it, and this class especially has been really good. Like the last one was not great because there was kind of a troublesome student that was in there.
Yeah, I'm off.
That kind of ruined the class. Yeah,
that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it is terrible. It's really funny because we have that group chat, and everybody else had stories about him too. Like I wasn't the only one who had stories about this guy. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I guess I'm not alone.
Great.
All right, this guy's looking better. I thought he's looking a bit too simplistic before.
I like to take narrative art if possible.
That is the most useful one.
Mhm.
And I highly recommend it. So, well, they changed the name of it. It's called sequential art, but it's the same class.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
the exact same class.
Sweet.
And well, I say it's the exact same class. Usually they give you a script.
Mhm.
So, like I did Moon Knight for the last one,
Mhm.
and everybody had the same script. So it's this one I did last time.
Mhm. Are you eating on stream?
Sorry, I was biting an ice again.
No, it's okay.
It was just ice.
Don't worry. The problem is not just with you. It's with any other people. I have this problem with everybody who does it. It's not. I'm not.
Fair
talking
enough.
about this.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough. So I did this Moon Knight script, and you do like the first week, you get kind of a lecture, and he walks you through some stuff. Hey, there's Tuco, and he's, what does it say here? Why lurking today? iPhone autocorrect. He's
Yeah. Civic class. You alright? Peter? You might have frozen. Oh. Just happened. Did the thing just... Am I the only one here? Uh-oh. Is it just me? I guess it is just me. All right. I was hoping to hear more about his story. So, any day, he'll come back anytime now. I'm sure. All right. This is actually the one time in chapter 2 I did.
I got knocked off again.
Sorry, what happened?
I got knocked offline. I don't know what it was. Sometimes cable goes out or something.
Oh dear. I hope you're
Something gigglesome until he comes back. Thank you, Dentu, too. Always trying to help. So for this one,
I was asking about the course, like the
yes.
were you gonna finish something or
So for the first class, he gives you got kind of like a lecture on the first week, and then he gives you an assignment, and it's usually a 4-page script. So by week 2, you're turning in roughs for all 4 pages. So just roughs.
Yeah.
And then week 3, you turn in a finish of page 1, and he critiques it. Week 4, a finish of page 2. Week 5, finish of page 3. And week 6, finish of page 4, and then the class is over. And that's pretty much the format. But for this class, we had kind of begged him to let us do original work, to let us do creator-owned, quote-unquote, stuff. And he's like, that sounds good. I had a course like that when I was at Qbert, so here's what you got to do. You got to do like a pitch. So you got to make your 4 pages of roughs, but you also have to pitch the series, and you have to do like a 30-second elevator pitch and show the character designs. So there's my my remake of Unga Bunga that I did, and I had like a little pitch that I did.
Oh, sweet.
Showing all the characters and everything. Thank you, Dintutu, for welcoming me back. And like one guy's doing a thing called Little Rambo or Lil Rambo. It's like a kids comic about this he's or Kid Rambo, I think it might be, but it's really funny. It's kind of inspired by Captain Underpants. You know, he uses farting power, and he's fighting stuff. Mine is the Caveman Unga Bunga comic that I'm making, and that's going pretty well. Shell's doing one of her stories. She actually wrote to this teacher and said, "I'm not gonna join the class unless I can do my own story." And he goes, "Okay, it's cool. You can do that." But
Cool.
and everybody has something interesting that they're doing, which is kind of fun. Like there's one girl that's got like a vampire story.
Way to give feedback. That's some valuable feedback.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes. And first you pitch it with your roughs, and then you're actually like submitting your stuff. And we have the group chat, and it's kind of funny because like there are a couple of us that are a little bit further ahead, you know, in our artistic journey. So like when this guy who had the little Rambo, he posted his first page and he did it in complete color. Like he did finished color page, and somebody goes, "I quit." I had to laugh.
I've only glimpsed it every now and then, but yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "Don't quit. It's fine."
No.
Everyone's at different levels. It's totally cool. Like it doesn't matter really what level you are, because you know you could as long as you did the work and you understood the storytelling, it could be stick figures and or really simplistic figures completely. So it isn't really about, like, I don't think comics are about having perfect anatomy or having perfect perspective. That's just, some comics look like that, but not all comics like yours. The characters are like manga characters. I'm looking over at your character doing the bow, and you have that alien axolotl type character doing the bow. This is not like a fully realized figure drawing, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
hey,
you can
how's it
always
going?
be the next. You could be the next Order of the Stick, you know.
Yeah, so Order of the Stick is one I love to bring up because it literally is stick figures, and it's hilarious. That's a great comic. Paul Pate is here. He says, "Hello, gents. How's it going, Paul Pate?"
Hello.
I think I'm gonna just. Whoa!
What?
I've had.
What?
Well, no, I've just. My Procreate crashed. This is the iPad that I'm getting rid of because it just crashes all the time now.
I think she's actually a little fat in this one.
Technically, I've already replaced it, but I have old work on here that I don't want to convert over. I don't know how actually.
You can do a transfer over to a new iPad. Your work. I've done that.
So I transferred most of it, and I don't have this page unfortunately, but I did do most of it onto the new one.
It's like
the
a
new one's got
special...
4 times the memory.
Very good.
Let's
Sometimes
see.
I've turned on iCloud in the past on my iPad, but it always fills up to more space. Or it takes a lot, like, because it'll bring in my phone library as well. Like,
yeah. Oh boy, so that's the danger. I'm just gonna lifestyle adjust, and then basically there will be the net effect will be now you're worse off because you have filled up what remaining space you had or something, you know.
Oh crap! Oh, don't freeze.
You're not frozen.
No, my thing shouldn't freeze very much. It's a good, powerful PC for my needs, at least.
My poor sad PC. Mine's a laptop, and I've got to get like, I don't know if I want to improve it or replace it or what. I've had it for a couple of years. Oh no.
Do you edit videos on it?
I do, and it heats up.
Yeah,
it'll keep you warm in the wintertime.
Yeah, mine will like chug along and it'll complain about memory and stuff. You can hear it whirl like a fan. But I use it like every now and then, normal laptop. Sometimes to organize stuff on there. But I don't video edit it. I think I used to, but I used to try to stream on there. It was so laggy, like terrible.
That's my problem right now, and so that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm streaming on it.
Oh, not too bad.
It seems to be working okay. I have like a lot of like optimizer type little apps going on it that are
Apple optimizer. Oh wow! Wait, they optimize the streaming.
They optimize the streaming and the like video. Like I've reduced my video and I've got like a heat manager, like all these things on it. And it kind of works. It works better than when I didn't do that.
Oh man, I like this page when I in chapter 2 I had these comic relief characters. They were just the host of the Coliseum fight, like WWE hosts.
Yeah.
They're really packed. They're
like your Statler and Waldorf of your
And one's like, "Welcome, my co-host." And he says, "Who are you calling host?" Literally an alien parasite. And the guys, yeah.
One effect that you got, and I'm still interested in how you did it, was you did like an ink wash in tones.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was like a previous 3 pages ago, I think. I'm trying to look for the flashback. What's happening in chapter 2? Yes, I made multiple flashbacks in a series. Oh, there's one. No, wait.
You should do like embedded flashbacks where one character has a flashback and then they have a flashback of having a flashback. So it's like have you ever read the 1001 Nights? Or
nope.
Arabian Nights?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is. So it starts out, there's a wife and she's going to be killed because she's betrayed her husband. But she offers to tell him a bedtime story. And she tells him this bedtime story, and in the middle of the bedtime story, there's another character that says, "But I also have a story." And it's like a character in the story has a story. And it embeds a story in that one, and then that character also embeds a story. And then by the end of it, he's fallen asleep, so he doesn't kill her. And this goes on for the entire book. Like it's night after night until he finally forgives her. Doesn't kill her.
Oh yeah, there's a fire escape thing. I'm not gonna include it. Okay. Well, not fire escape. It's a hose. Okay. I'm adding continuity. Woo!
Paul says, "Don't you wish they'd fix the paint bucket tool in Procreate to be more like Photoshop?" I think that probably is directed at me because I'm the Procreate guy. I don't really know how Photoshop works, so I don't know. I did see a bit of your stream there, Paul, and I don't. I've never used the paint bucket like you do. I don't use the. I actually just like when I do a flood fill, I just make sure that the lines are all closed, and I do the flood fill, which is probably the wrong way to do it.
I think Paul paid us a channel. I'm just looking for it.
He does. He does have a channel. Hold on. Whoops. In this case, I'm trying to get this tone gradient.
I'm not a big fan of when dragging a color most to an area. I think it's like Procreate's own way of handling performance again, but they I think I prefer just to tap. Seems like Like I can have the paint bucket selected.
And you just
Press
kind of
enter.
like select the area and tap it in there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems cool. There are many arguments being made for Fresco, which is basically it's Photoshop for iPads.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you watch Chris Piasek's stream, he'll do like the comparison between how it works and Procreate. So Paul, if you haven't tried Fresco, it's free. It's a free app, and it's made by Adobe. It's and it's yeah. So that's how you do it in Procreate. Yep. I don't know if it really works differently in Fresco, anyways. But everybody really who loves Photoshop has really liked Fresco, and like Tuco, who has shown up here, has been trying to convince me to switch over to it. I'm not going to switch over to it, and the reason is I've got it down to a comfort level at this point, where I don't worry about it too much. That's the problem is. When you first start doing comics electronically, everyone says, hey, all you need is Clip Studio Pro. It's got everything, and it indeed does, but I could not figure it out. It just wasn't intuitive for me. It didn't feel like art. It felt like, okay, you got to define a canvas, and then you got to select the panel areas and set up masks for them. I know you don't have to do any of this stuff, but like that was the way that I was taken. And Michelle was like, yeah, you have to do that stuff. That's
my take is that it's only hard as you want it to be, but you could do totally black and white comics on there, or
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it does vectors, which I'm not a fan of vectors anyway, so but yeah, you said the magic words. It's only as hard as you want it to be. You didn't have to do any of that stuff, but and it wasn't Shell was the only person who was saying yes, you have to do that. But she totally defines the canvas size and kind of sets up the masks and does all that stuff. And Marsh was too. Like Marsh that's how he had it set up, and I'm like, man, I cannot follow this. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it the idiot way, and me make art now, and I just like knew, like I can barely figure out layers. Strangely enough, I work in IT, in my day job, but I just like for art stuff, something in my brain does not work for setting that stuff up. I guess it's the planning. Like I can't plan it out. Yeah, Fresco. And check out Chris Piasek's channel, Paul Pate.
You're a bit loud, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, let's do like a light right here. Yeah, check out Chris Piasek's channel, and like we use the same brush packs and things. So there's like a risograph kit for Fresco. Whoops. And it works similar to the Procreate one. But to be fair, it did take me a couple of weeks to figure out the Procreate one as well.
It's okay.
But like even like Tuco, like he asked me questions that make sense, but like they don't make sense to me. Like at one point I was showing the layers for things, and he goes, well, how come you don't have, see all my layers over here? And he goes, why don't you have your text tied to each panel? And I'm like, like, I don't think in that way. I don't even think about that stuff at all.
I think, yeah, the layer, like the layer buttons, or basically this thing. I do like that I can make a word balloon and just and like type in the same layer as it, but just making I find the layer The paneling, just there's a panel feature that like highlights the panel and nothing else. Like because you just have like this little negative, like this pink backdrop, and there's your panel. It's a little bit weird. I don't know. I like to be a bit more free in my generous in my mistakes. Just to add a bit more. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't have to be careful looking to me, like highly measured. Not all the time.
So Marsh has also been doing fresco lately too. He did an animation he recently did.
Has he been in Gilded? I haven't heard from him. You seem to have.
I've not seen him in Gilded at all.
You know about his whereabouts, I guess. So I'm asking.
Well, he did ask for one of my zines, so I'm going to, and I'm sending it to what I knew of his old address. So I assume he has the same place with the chickens, and I'm sending him Book of Ruin and the other book. Piasek, yeah. I think it's Chris Piasek. I think.
Just look up like Fresco Chris Piasek.
Yeah, or if you look up, if you just look up Procreate versus Fresco, he's got the most popular video for it. So if you just look up Procreate versus Fresco, he's got several videos that do side-by-side comparisons. The problem with the comparisons, and by the way, Fresco wins on pretty much every point, but the points that they're testing are things like, does it do vector? Does it do... it's like stuff that I don't use. So it's like, well, okay. So I'm like, okay, so I'm still good. All right, I think we might have reached the end of the line work on this. I'm actually going to color this page, though, too.
Oh, no, there's...
I am not a good colorist at all. Badoop.
Ooh, that font looks cool. Sleep of the Ages. Nice.
Yes, who disturbs the sleep of the ages?
I love it.
Let me just... For some reason... Oh, it's not looking good. Okay. I've got to do it up above the line here. There it is.
Procreate versus Fresco.
I can show you a bit of it. He's a great letterer, by the way. He does kind of decorative lettering. Let me find it, and I'll also show you a bit of the sculpting, just because we're on the subject.
Okay.
That Mold Burncrant did. Hang on to just a bit. Chris also does hang on one sec.
No worries.
Okay, here it is. Present. Share screen. Okay, and unfortunately you can't see his name. There it is. Chris Piasek. It does have a C right here. And
I think I'm subscribed.
He does the and it's why I switched to Fresco. It's totally worth subscribing to. He's great, especially his decorative lettering. So here he's talking about he talks about vectors. He does this kind of I don't know what you would call this stuff. It's kind of fun, lettering type art, and then also animation. Oh, the animation stuff is great. It's animation per layer, and there's an animation on Instagram that Marsh did with Fresco,
Absolutely.
the one that with bees. I think it's bees. And then he talks about file management, and the price is free. It is 100% free. And he has other considerations, but it really comes down to it says this video is a bit outdated. There's another version. So he did 2 videos. The other ones are you still using Procreate? Go ahead.
I saw it. I can see his layering colors for texture video. Oh, is it? It's a stream, actually.
Oh yeah. So he's got members only videos. He's got some classes on Skillshare for lettering that are really good. And the lettering is like this stuff. It's this kind of hand lettering or sign lettering. Says I don't care about he has 49K subscribers. Yeah, no, he's really good. Like, absolutely. The weird thing is, Paul, is I run into people that I know there all the time. So like, I think I saw the Artful Dabbler visits your stream. I see the Artful Dabbler over on Chris's streams as well sometimes. And then, well, there's all kinds of stuff. But his Skillshare classes are really good, and he does these kind of sticker art and lettering art. But let me show you the Outer Spaceman real quick. Hang on. This will just take me a second. Stop screen, present, share screen. So the Outer Spacemen were this line of action figures that came out in the 60s. They're actually the very first action figures. Well, there was Major Bat Mason that Mattel put out.
Original Outer Space.
There they are. I'm trying to find. Let me find. This is where he drew them all first. I want to find the masters. Okay, so you see where the arms are stretched out like this?
Oh yeah.
That's an epoxy master of the. This character is Gamma X. I do not have a Gamma X.
He glowed in the dark.
I want to find.
Here's the epoxy masters for the second series. Everything necessary to recreate them.
You think we turn off music a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on.
It's kind of...
Hang on. I have to figure out where it is.
It's okay.
There we go. Okay, so I can show you a bit of these. Hang on.
Is the gray one in the middle the... Well, I say gray. I mean, like... No, not colored version, like the master. Here's the last one when it comes back. Needs to chat. It needs to show chat in full screen. Does it do that already? In full screen.
So if you on his website, he goes through the whole process of how they're made, and you can see they're in this sort of arms outstretched kind of way, and they were sent off to like Hong Kong they put a wire through them. Originally there were bendies, and then later on, and it has a connection to comics. It's crazy. He was really involved in like antiques dealing, and so in order to get into the show early, he had to have a booth. So he just made a booth, and then he put like some of the stuff that he worked on for color forms in there, but he had no intention of selling it because they were long, they were made in the 60s, a long time ago. But he meets this guy named Gary Schaefer, and Gary puts out a comic of the Outer Spaceman. It's a terrible comic. I've got it. I think it's in that box over there. It's really lame, but there they were like going to comic conventions, and they met the Four Horsemen, who offered to resculpt them. So I have a couple of them right here. And so let me share my screen.
Is it okay to like your stream if I'm on it?
Yeah. Who said that?
I don't know.
Wait.
I was just
Tell
asking
me.
a question.
So this is a Colossus Rex Christmas edition or holiday edition
Ooh.
that the Four Horsemen did. This is a Cyclops. I just got this guy. He's not painted. This is called the Blue Star edition. It's glow in the dark. But anyways, the really cool thing about this stuff is all the pieces. They're kind of like Micronauts. They're all removable and you can replace them. So if we wanted to, we could switch the heads out or something. They all have a standard pin system that they work with, so you can switch them out.
I would probably get a heart attack every time I tried.
Oh, they're so cool. And then
trying to rip
my
every
Cyclops back together.
Replace it.
And then my favorite is Mistron, and I've still got him in the box here. The Man from Hollow Earth. That's the actual 1960s card. But it is a resculpt. You can see the Four Horsemen line up there. But they're so cool. They're like so interesting and weird. This is he originally worked for Color Forms. If you know what Color Forms were, there's some of the other figures that they made. And I could just tell you, I have the female version of Commander Comet, which is Aphrodite. I have a
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Isn't that a great name?
Yes.
That's such a great name. And then I've got an Alpha 7, but I've got it. He's a Blue Star, and this is the only one I have the 60s paint is the Mistron. And I was shocked that I was able to find a Colossus Rex with something other than, with some kind of paint. So it's the holiday edition. They call it the holiday edition. They either came in green and red for Christmas or blue for Judaism. so Colossus Rex is the Judaism version, but they have a green and red version as well. And the paint jobs are spectacular. Like let's see, this is the comic that they made. I actually have it. Let's see if I can find. Oh wait, I'm not showing my screen anymore. They're so crazy. Says that figure looks ready for the holidays. Of course. All right, I'll show you the other holiday editions. You will have to admit that they do look ready for the holidays in a second here. Hang on. The Outer Spacemen. Well, anyways, like these characters that they came up with, have been really inspiring to me lately. Let's see if I share my screen. So there's the website. And I want to get to the gallery. They have all the knockoffs that came out, all throughout the 60s and 70s. Like they're made in China knockoffs, made in Mexico knockoffs. They're so great. Or just figures that were close enough. Like these jigglers. But like even their figures that they came up with originally were sort of knockoffs of stuff from the movies.
Oh, their faces.
Yeah,
in the film, Filmax. Oh. It's a mood.
There's the that's the Metaluni mutant from This Island Earth, and then there's Orbitron, who's one of their characters.
Looks so similar.
Oh yeah, it's totally inspired by it. So these are the Epoxy Masters of Series 2.
Wow.
These are the ones from Series 1.
Remind me of the Super Sentai monsters that they fight every week, like
oh yeah. Totally.
They look like giant mascots, but they're just like monsters they fight.
they look so, 60s to me. They're so crazy. So let me show you the holiday ones. Hold on. If I go to the shop here, the Galactic Holiday Edition. Now this is the later one, but this is the one that actually does really look. Oh, this one's gone. Okay. Canvas artwork. 2022 Galactic Holiday Edition. I have one of this. I have the Cerebriac, this one, and I have the Cobalt one. So I guess I do have two of them that are painted. But the original lineup of the holiday ones. Let's see, where is it? It must be over here. Individuals. Everything's out of stock. They look like this. They're like red and green.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Pate's got to run. All right, no problem. So this is their red Cyclops. It was just bright red with like a Christmas ball head.
I love that. I love that little his head dome reflecting.
So it's basically this guy. It's basically this guy, but he's got a reflective. Whoops. Thing, and this guy's so cool because he's, his armor comes off, his helmet comes off. He actually has another helmet underneath this helmet. I already took it off because I like him without the helmet. Anyways, and I just love them. They're so cool. I don't know. I'm more of a collector. All right, I'll throw my action figures to the side here. But he has whole videos on how he sculpted them and everything. And the crazy thing is, he was not a sculptor; he was a painter. And when they accepted the proposal for making them, he thought he was just going to give them the drawings, and they would sculpt them for him. And they said, "Okay, well, your epoxy masters will be due, on this date or whatever." And he just did them himself because nobody else was there to do them. Which I like that idea that you can just sort of step in and, make whatever. What a great idea. It
was a bit DIY, or
yeah. Now his attention to color is really cool. And I think that's what he really brought as a painter in is his colors are magnificent. Like especially on the 60s paint, you can see it's real attention to detail on the color. And that's what I really wish I understood. Like, how do you figure out how to come up with a good color palette? That is one trick I wish I had.
I heard, I think I've heard, like, the thing with art, you just go pick, like, what you'd like to use more. Like, from particular artists, even, and it's also, like, it's similar to that. You just pick palettes you're interested in.
I think that's probably what it comes down to somehow, but I wish I understood, like I had the artistic sense, where, oh, this is always going to look good. Cause you can really blow it with colors. Some people don't know what they're doing at all. Then they'll pick like I'll just pick this forest green cause it's green, and it doesn't end up looking like anything. So you have to I understand intellectually how complementary colors work and, all the things that you can do with color. But for some reason, I just don't have the sense for it. I am going to try and do it. So strategy on this page, for example, I am coloring this. I have a palette, and it's this one, Pastel Galaxy. And so my strategy is only use the stuff on Pastel Galaxy. Like, don't do anything else. If you need a purple, use that purple. If you need a blue, it's that blue.
Is there a comic you've done that you would remake? Yeah, I know later. Would you choose to remake?
Maybe not. I don't know, because I've improved every time, and I hate going backwards. Probably not.
No.
I would like to reuse characters. Like I would like to redo Mystery Squad at some point. I think that would be cool.
I think in chapter 2, it's not just like the art for me. I think if I had redone it, like if there was a thing I'd redo, there's the Flash. I feel like the flashback could have played a more important role in that plot, like how it was when like the sensei was jumping up and down, like the sensei was a one step ahead of Debbie, like in this flashback a bit, but when she's in the JoJo and sensei's just hopping off her, like just effortlessly, evading her attacks effortlessly. I feel like that like sequence should have played in, like had a better played a better role in the store in the climax, nearing the climax of the story, like, or the resolution, of that, like, because she's fighting a beast and trying to outwit it at the same time.
That was the one with the arena fight.
Yeah, the arena fight with the beast. Helgasaur. Helgasaur is the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have that feeling a lot too, where I go, I should have done it this way, or why didn't I think of that? Kind of a thing. And so this is kind of silly. I had a line of dialogue in the comic I'm doing for class, and it was something like, "Welcome to your doom," right? That was the line. It's a throwaway line. Anybody could say "Welcome to your doom." It's not that exciting. And I was trying to come up with, this is on Unga Bunga, a battle cry. So I came up with "charge," which is not that great. But I'm like, what should a caveman say? And I'm like, I don't know, like "yabba dabba doo."
Wait, does Unga Bunga not have his phantom-like face anymore?
He does not have the phantom face yet, right? We're going back in time. He's just a regular caveman here.
Oh.
So I was trying to figure out
origins.
Go ahead. And I recast it, so it's got 3 characters now too. It's not just Unga Bunga. It's hold on. It's Unga Bunga, Goro the gorilla, and Zara the swift, who's a velociraptor, and they all talk.
He's always a necklace. I like that.
Yes.
Is it a she or he?
It's a she. That's a she.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She has like the necklace. She's and then it's, he's always hanging out with his gorilla, and the gorilla is really smart. That's the other trick there. But I thought, okay, so "yabba dabba doo" is too good. So I came up with "welcome to your yabba dabba doom." Boom.
That's a villain saying that? Or
yeah, it's a villain saying that. Because he's always insulting them. He calls them Jurassic jerks.
I like that.
And then he calls them
Jurassic jerk.
You Jurassic. Like, he does a lot of alliteration. He's kind of like, I kind of modeled him after Dr. Smith in Lost in Space.
Yeah.
You bungling buffoons. The inscriptions are mine. And then for Zara, he calls her an overgrown iguana. I was going to call her an ignominious iguana, which I think would be funny too. You ignominious iguana. Anyways.
The sequential art class, the teacher, about the teacher, like, what's his name again?
His name is Gavin Smith. He's doing The Last Ronin right now. So he's like an artist on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Star Trek.
Oh, cool. Do you give examples of past work, or just work you're working on now? Like,
pretty much you just do your newest work. In fact, there is a guy that keeps wanting to bring up his old stuff, but it's stuff he did with other people, and he kind of gets dismissed because, first of all, I think it's pretty clear what part he did and what part that the other artist did. So, you're only getting judged on your own work, and then and it kind of doesn't matter. Like there was a guy in the last class too. There was a guy, can't remember his name, but he had done like a Star Wars fan comic. And like everything, it's hard to say this. Everything he brought up was related back to that fan comic that he'd done, before. Like I had tried to invite him to this thing, and he's like, "Well, so I happen to be the author of, blah blah blah, this Star Wars fan comic." Like, well, what are you doing now, though? Is the thing, So I don't know. I think it should be your current stuff because, like, I don't want to be too judged on my old stuff. My old stuff is pretty bad. Admittedly, it's pretty amateur. Actually, I can show you a great example of it, of how it's changed because I did redo something.
I know, like, I think chapter 2 is like 2 years old or something by now, but
yeah, at least 2 years. It's more than 2 years actually.
It does. No, like, but does feel completely well. It's kind of funny because I started chapter 4 traditionally, but then I slowly went back into it because I mentioned like struggle like of balancing between both digital and traditional. But if I showed but if I showed him like I'm currently working on,
I think that's always welcome. You can totally do that.
I wonder if he would. I know where I'm going with this, but I like because I think there's good examples of like the pacing and the layout of the panels in chapter 2. There's some bad ones, of course, and the art's totally different, but like I keep some of that. I wonder if he I guess I could say like if he's familiar enough with manga enough to also provide
yeah. No, he totally is. Well, first of all,
like,
sideways, you'd be really surprised. Most people who take these courses are really at the beginning of their art experience. So, and then you'll find. So this is the way it usually works out: is it's about 75% of like absolute beginners, and then 25% like total gunslingers, like people that are really good, like ridiculously good, and you're nowhere. You're never going to touch them. And, it's somebody who's, with this one guy named Tiago from Brazil. And like, he was like so polished. And I would put myself kind of in, I would put myself above absolute beginner, but I think I'm pretty far along because I actually do work on pages on a regular basis. And you do too. Most people, they haven't quite started yet, so they're right at the beginning. But like I said, then you're gonna meet some gunslingers that are gonna be like really good. So this is a picture that I redid. So this is the original Scarab Force from 2020. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep,
there it is. And then I redid it, and it's way better. Like
I can notice it. Yeah.
So let me see if I can bring the full size version of it up.
You use the same colors, and then the texture.
I sort of use the same colors. I actually did. I did recolored it completely. I redrew this guy completely. I redrew this guy and changed this guy a little bit, and I redetailed them all. But I don't know if you can even tell, but it's miles beyond where it was. Like, so that's a pretty satisfying experience because you go, oh, I guess I did improve, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It took me long enough. But anyways, yeah, all that's good stuff. All that's good
Yeah,
stuff.
true.
What's really cool about it is when people are sincere and they're trying, it's, you know, it's really not about the art. It's at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like there was one guy in my inking class that I took, Joe Prado, and we're all like trying to just knock ourselves out, trying to impress the teacher with figure drawing, and I've got my perspective grid all drawn correctly and stuff. This one guy comes in and he's doing like Scotty Young, and Calvin and Hobbes stuff, and it's great. It's like really good, you know. And Prado goes, "This is exactly what I wanted to see," you know. And you realize it really is not about the figure drawing and the perspective grids. It's cartooning is. I mean, you could have that stuff, you know, if you can, if that's, you know, part of your style or important to the way you're doing it, it's fine. But if you want to be doing, you know, like a complete fantasy comic, I think that's okay too. You know, so like that's one thing I figured out when I was doing this fantasy art. Like when I'm doing my fantasy art, I'm so relaxed because I don't care about making it look like a comic that would, you know, compete with other comics. I just, you know, with fantasy art, the old school stuff especially, you know, it could look like anything. You could just make it look like whatever. What was important was making it look cool. And so like I've got this lumpy ogre guy over here. I love the way he looks, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start doing it that way. I'm just gonna have fun with it, and that's where I've done ever since then. Anyways, I know we have a couple of people still watching, but we're at the end of the stream. It is already past 8 o'clock. It's 8:02. Thanks so much for tuning in. And feel free to ask questions, hang out in the chat. You can roast me. I can take it. What else is going on? Oh, check out my Instagram, which I have where I'm posting all my comics pages, and prints. Now I'm doing prints because I want to do these ash can size books. And I guess that's it. I will see you later. What's you? Any last things? Any last words? I'm gonna put the banner back up.
Yeah, I'm working on page Docking Star. It's a bonus page from last week's absence. I do apologize.
No, that's awesome. I'm gonna post it in the chat as well.
I got a lot done to this stream. If I'm being honest, I got tons done.
Absolutely, me too. I actually finished all the line work for the page that I was working on. So great stuff. And then your link is down below.
Average eyesight? How dare you?
Yeah, Dintity says you are a person with average eyesight. I've
never seen you with like prescription. Do you have a prescription?
I do have a prescription, but I have not worn glasses since the lockdown. I used to wear them. I wore them from 1994 to 2020. 1994 to 2020, 26 years. Took my glasses off when I started doing comics, like hanging out at home, and I've stopped wearing them. I bought a new set. Like I had my prescription done, and it's pretty good. Like I got bifocals now, you know, but I still have 20/20 vision, but I just have astigmatism. So like I can't read signs at night or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It just goes blurry. I just can't see anything. So luckily I don't drive at night, so I'm good. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Definitely follow Sideburns. Definitely check out Chris Piasek's video. Get interested in Fresco. There will be more stuff going on, and we will all see you later.
You have a good day.
You too.
Cheers.